Hello. Hello, YouTube. This is Corolla. I'm a soul mender. I'm just going to do an explanation basically on cards, where to go from here. As many people have readings from a tarot reader, they actually don't understand sometimes how to take it to the next step. So I'm going to explain some of those things, and I'm also going to explain different kind of cards, how you can read them, how you can use them for healing, what are healing cards, and are you comfortably numb in where you are? Are we so set back with everything that we have that we become numb on our phones? We use everything on the phones. Are we numb to the reality we're in? Are we that brainwashed, or whatever the case may be? Are you working for your highest good? I'm going to talk about death and the transition of death, as many fear death. So there are a few interesting subjects. So we're going to start off basically changing the vibration. So I'm going to use my singing bowl, which is this right here. So we're going to change the vibration. It's very tinny today. Interesting. That's lovely, isn't it? Okay. So to change your frequency, like when you hear spiritual people talk about changing your frequency, or where you're going in your frequency, are you in a higher frequency? We're actually talking about what vibration are you at the moment is. So if you have negative thoughts, you're going to a lower vibration because you're trying to analyze that thought. But when you're feeling stuff, you need to feel it and let it go. So the more you hold on to a negative emotion, the more it consumes you, basically. That's what they talk about frequency. So frequency also is, the whole world is made of frequency. Universal is made of frequency. We're all made of frequency. Colors have frequency in it, numbers, vibrations, the words I say. So everything is really based on that. And we can raise our frequency to a spiritual frequency, to the megahertz. We can raise it up. So I will do that in another video, not today, because I want to talk about cards basically, and are we so comfortably numb in what we're doing, and how are we transitioning out of this being so comfortable to feel the uncomfortable? How do we deal with our lessons? How do we manifest? So there's so many questions that get sent to me, so I'm going to answer some of them as well, and then I will do some readings obviously of what's going on around us and what we should know. So as you all know, the American election have been on. I've been really following it, because one thing is, humanity has to save itself from what is coming. It is you and I that need to change our frequency, our belief system, because we've come so comfortable, numb in going to the supermarket, not knowing where the food is going to get grown and stuff. And our children haven't been taught that we need gardens and etc. I've got an itchy nose, sorry. So if you like this video, like, subscribe and share. Feel welcome to. So if you ever have any questions, please ask. I only make random, so I don't advertise when I'm going to make them. I do them random because I do so many other things, and I don't want to be sort of held down to make this at certain times. I'm a spiritual worker. I have many healing modules under my belt as well. Also, I'm a spiritual artist. Behind me, some of the artwork I do, I print them out on cups as well. I also have an oracle deck. Excuse me, my home phone's ringing. it's actually a private number, so I don't understand how they get my number. They're all scammers. So only my family have that number. So interesting. Anyway, and then I want to talk about healing modules. So and protection around our energy. Like I have my home set up with a lot of protection around it, a lot of crystals, selenite. I use sprays, like I just use sage sprays or just beautiful sprays. I use a lot of aromatherapy to change the moods because they have frequency in it as well, etc. And I have healing cards to show you where you're at. So I do work on myself continuously. I don't play victim, and I don't sometimes have much patience for when people don't want to come out of victimhood. I don't like narcissism because I believe someone being a narcissist and only believe how they want something to be is the answer, because it's not. So they need to actually look at what they're doing is not right. So that's just my beliefs. You might have different beliefs. That's your choice. Everything I tell you is for entertainment purpose only. You can take what you like out of this or don't take it at all. If you don't like it, Stroll Pass. Doesn't bother me either way. If someone learns something out of it, bless them. And that is what this is all about. So I'm going to talk about cards in a moment. So especially tarot cards. So if you go for a tarot reading, you have a reading, and say all these cards come and say I do a world reading, so I explain it. Okay, what is the energy that we need to be aware of in the world right now? So I'll pull the young energies. This is the wand. He has fire on him, so if you can see that. All right, so to me, it's a new movement, new energy coming through, right? And then we have the Queen and water. To me, water present a lot of what's going on in the world in a moment, where there's a lot of floods, water problems, water issues, lakes drying out, etc., etc. So there's a lot of water issues. Is our water being poisoned? Has it too much fluoride in it? And things like that. So that card is a 6 of Pentacles. Right, so I'm just going to say, as you can see, it has all the pentacles up here. Right, the lady is sitting above, preaching to someone, basically, or talking down. Pentacles are usually financial cards. Cups are filling cards, like this is a cups. So they're filling. Did humanity overfeel the flow of what's going on with us in the world today? As you can see, there have been nothing but lies, greed, etc., and things like that. And it has to do with the money system. That system, I believe, is crashing, and it's a reset. Basically, that's my belief. You can take it any way if you like. Assets are going to be frozen out, because you can see this is a 5. It's a very disappointing card, the 5 of Pentacles. And then if you go for reading, what does that mean? So looking at the financial system being frozen out, where does it lead us? It has water with it. So there's a lot of drowning going on with the water, like sorrow, drowning. And see, the dictators have come as far as they could, and now they're getting frozen out, whether it's banks, financial system, and systems like that, basically. But with the new energy coming in up there, we can see into the future, what will it bring? So it's the death card, which is a death to a system, a death to the uncomfortable numb, I call it. There is no more uncomfortable numb. You have to get off your ass and do something and help. You can't always turn a blind eye, because it's the ending, okay? The sun comes up with a beautiful new beginning, but the sun also has, it's not the sun, it's a full right? The Fool has an unknown journey. So do we know where we're going yet? No, we do not. The Fool also brings in the uncertainty, the rawness of life, the rawness of you, the adventure that a Fool can bring is because the journey is still unfolding. So if that makes sense, all right. And then we have the Queen of Swords, a powerful person, very much in the head, thinking. So where do we go with a Fool's journey with the Queen of Swords? Realigning the feminine energy. There's a beautiful owl, so it's a totem animal. Where if you can see that on the side here, so that's a totem animal. It's quite lovely, and it carries us to see. And our always believe is seeing in the dark and seeing things for what they are, basically. So on the meaning of this reading, because it was about the world, is how do you move forward out of understanding your reading? Well, in the moment, the reading is something is frozen out, so it's financially. There's a death card, a new journey. Taking your power back is a queen, because a queen does what a queen does as well, take her power back. So, but where do we go from there? Because we don't know, because the journey is unknown. So I'm going to pull one last card. What does our journey need to know on this reading? It's another queen. Balancing your energy, balancing who you are, balancing the feminine, the male energy, and being in one's power, no victimhood. It's a grounding energy as well. As you can see, there's a window behind it. It's a wands. So we need to actually stay really grounded. We need to be in the now moment and enjoy what's going on around us, understand what's going on around us, and start putting the AI technology down and start being more present with who we are with family members, wherever you are. Put your interruptive telephone away and stop messaging or being unpresent when you're with other people. It is a really big lesson for us to learn as well. There's much happening on this earth plane in the moment. As you know, my belief is we're all visitors here, and we come to enjoy what Earth had to offer, or I'll call it, or it can be a slave planet, however you want to call it. And we're here to slave like society does. There's so many different views on Earth. How you see it is your choice. I have my views, you have your views. I'm not here to force views on other people. I just believe that of what I see as the kind of work I do is we're in crisis of getting so lost sometimes into the technology of things instead of being present of things, and especially in a younger generation, it's very scary sometimes. So but like I said, it is a choice. It's not up to me. Now I'm going to use a Akashic record card. On the Akashic level, what is our move forward within the next 6 months? So I'm using a different deck. They're tarot decks as well. So we have the one, the key, the architect. So rebuilding, okay? A one is also an ace. So rebuilding what crumbled, basically, okay? And then we have the Three of Roses, loving elements. So teaching, even our children are still in the moment when they're little. We can learn so much of them and really understand the beauty of life, the innocence, seeing through the beauty of a child, you know, how amazing. And we need to save our children. That's a baseline. Focus. The bird's nest, when we're rebuilding, focus how we rebuild. Are we going to be a slave planet, or are we going to take our power stop looking outside of herself to bring everything forward, to teach our children properly, not to abuse the land as we have. And there's so much, there's a beautiful tree here as well. The Ark of the Convent. That's quite interesting because it reminds me of, actually, because it has nuns in it, how much damage has religion done to humanity, which is quite sad, really. They abused it. Instead of us looking within ourselves and our hearts and healing what's broken, we got taught to look outside of the hill, pillars up, drink, drugs, whatever. And it's quite sad. So then we have up in the air, right? So as you know, I believe our sky is so sprayed in the moment. We have to clean our air. I think it's very important. We can't pollute the planet like they have been doing. It's not actually us. It's the people in power that are doing it, and then they call it climate change. And if you can't see that, that's okay. Maybe you're not meant to, okay? But I'm just saying, to me, is when I see all the sky looking not very normal, is what are they actually spraying, So what do we have to do to stop that? So all the people that actually use it as a job, have you got no heart not to do that? Imagine if all the people see all the wrongdoings and stop doing it and standing up to these people that enforce it and painting it. That is the change. When we stop going forward with all this stuff, if it doesn't make sense and the government enforces that, it should not be enforced. That is not how a government is here to help the people. If they can't do that, there's something wrong with the government. End of story, right? The Queen of Keys, if you have a look at that. So she's standing in a castle, basically. She has the keys. She looks at the land. It's beautiful and green. Is where to from here? How do we fix? And then I have this beautiful card, the will, the wisdom, and the mind. So basically is take back your will, your mind, your wisdom. It's all within you. You are smart enough. You understand all this. You got this if you choose to. We can't always sit back and turn a blind eye to all this because our children's future is at stake here. But if you're comfortably numb, as many have become, so it is. Okay, so that's a little bit about how to manifest in reading. So readings are a tool to basically show you some of your past, present, future. I do more future. I like to get people out of victimhood, help them grow, that kind of stuff. So I just believe that when you have a card reading, it is up to you to take that reading and take further steps. So if there's some healing to be done, do that healing. To manifest, you're the one that has to be active to manifest because it's your life and your choice. We only can show you guidance into what road to go to, and you always have two choices. You either do or you don't, right? Sometimes we sit on the fence, but you do or you don't. You stay comfortably numb or you get active in your life and heal what's broken. You become active in your life to do the things your soul essence here to do. If you want to help other people and be kind, lovely. What a beautiful journey. If you're going to be evil, nasty, I don't associate with that kind of energy because it doesn't appeal to me. I will not have time for that because you need to do a lot of healing and you need to ask yourself why you're like that. Okay, that's just my opinion. I'm just not in that space. That's all. So, and when powerful people do that, you need to see the same question. So basically, I'm going to talk about, before I'll go into other explanation, death. So as a human, as we come down here, apparently they always say that we have our parents picked out. So we come to do an experience that way. Then we have people around us that are a soul group, then have people teaching us lessons, and all the different kind of souls coming in their human bodies to teach us other lessons. So, you know, we have choices in that. You can do it the hard way or the gentle way, as long as you learn your lesson. So many go the hard yard, and go through lesson. But can you see your lesson? Say you're in a beautiful relationship and it goes sour one day and it collapses and falls apart, and you become very bitter and blame that person for everything. For once, it takes two people to be in a relationship. It takes two people to fall apart. How do you see that lesson? If you see over years and years, sometimes you're with someone, especially if you're a female, this is how a lot of females look at a relationship, okay, is they give and give and give into this relationship, but they don't get, in the end, there's no emotional support, or there's snapping from the other person, or he starts arguing with me so they can go out, whatever the case scenario is. So how do you align all that? You know, do you put your boundaries up? Because you remember sometimes we attract that kind of thing. So how do you cope with it? How do you resolve all that? By, you know, first of all, you need to sit down and discuss it. And if it's undiscussable, is sometimes people grow apart. And the females usually just shut her heart off quick after she copped enough, and becomes very quiet, and especially in an abusive relationship, and she withdraws and then finally gets the courage up to leave. If the male didn't see it coming, is he looking at his behavior pattern? No, he is. You have shown him many times, as if it doesn't stop, one day you won't be there. And that's in a relationship, basically. And it's very complex. Each one has a different emotional complexity to it, you know. But how do we deal with it? You know, I can't stay with a narcissist. It's too hard. They're hard work. Everything is about them. You're bowing down to all their needs. We are not put on earth to do that. There has to be equality. There has to be people that, you know, you have to work emotionally. It's not a one-sided relationship. One shoe doesn't fit all, you know. We're not here to bow down to everyone's need. There has to be more equal emotional sharing attached to it. So if that makes sense, it's on a relationship. So now, a lot of people have asked me about the soul journey. So there's some beautiful cards you can buy. There's these ones, the Soul Oracle deck by Sonia Choquette, right? So what you do is, if that's a journey you want to know and you're not sure, this is just helping tools, okay? You don't have to buy it. You don't have to. So I'm going to pull a card. What is the soul lesson here in Australia? Let's have a look at that, okay? It's do what you love. So Australia's around it with water, right? Australia's a very easygoing country most of the times, until the last couple of years where the government were really rogue in my eyes. So we have to bring the do what you love back. Do what brings fun into your heart. Do fun things, laughter, kindness, sharing. Share. Yeah, it's just, that's now what about around the world? Let's do a world one. What is the world's lesson? Build on solid ground. So in the world, we have to build on solid ground. We have to rebuild the truth, the trust, the Mother Earth tree, the tree of life, the seeds of the tree of life. Bring that soul essence back. And simplicity is usually the easy way to do that. So if you want soul readings with that is their beautiful deck to use. Then there's a deck called Ask Your Guides. I've got a few different decks. I just pulled out a few to show you. Okay. And they're by the same person. So what do the guides of Mother Earth want humanity to know today? Let's do it like that. That way everything is on. Appreciation. And there's divine help out there if you ask. Appreciate everything. Become active. Become love. Become the light. Become the helper. Become kindness. Look at how that beautiful divine helper, there's a star coming down and that person's given another person flowers. Be the flower of someone's life. Be a community. Rebuild. Grow your own food. Help people become a better version of themselves instead of bagging them out. Gossip is really, really destructive. All right, so now we're going to do a sacred explanation. So this is by Denise Lynn, the Sacred Traveler. All right. So and we're going to ask, what does a sacred traveler need us to know on this beautiful moving forward journey? There is infinite abundance. Abundance is it's coming into your life basically, right? If you choose to see it. See, people always think abundance is hundreds of dollars coming through, but abundance is what comes from your heart. If you have a roof over your head with food on the table, we are abundant. If you can live okay, we are abundant. We manifest so many things, and people don't even realize they manifest, but they go out and they work hard and they create their abundance. And yet there's some countries that are so have hardly anything, and yet they're so grateful when they have so little. I think sometimes we are too comfortably numb. So it's how you look at abundance, okay, and how you manifest your abundance. And I do believe everyone deserves a roof over their head and food on their table. Okay, now I'm going to use a deck called the Energy Spirit. And her name is Sandra Ann Taylor. She also did the Akashic Record Tarot deck. So, you know, so Energy Spirit. The teacher. Learning of a new path. So there you go. The teacher. We're learning a new path. We're all teachers in our own right. We all help each other one way or the other. Which I think it's a beautiful message. It's also card number 8, the Infinity card. And then we have the beautiful journey guide, travel, change in location. So there's beautiful, if you like traveling, if you traveling around the earth, changing locations, doing all that beautiful things. I think it's quite lovely. So then we have the achievement, completing the reward. This is all the big changes coming to earth. When we completed it, it's like a big reward. I do know that there's a lot of things that will unfold in the future as they are trying to bring food shortages in. As you can see, they want to charge cows for farting. How ridiculous is that? I mean, if you stand for all those things, wow. Just have to wonder. To me, is don't always believe what the media prints. I feel there's a lot of lies in that. do your research on everything. Research if you think something is not true, follow your gut instincts and stuff like that. So, and looking at how we can evolve as a human being and healing is our biggest gift, even if it hurts. It makes us grow. Look at it as a lesson. I have done many things where I had to heal so deeply. You heal when someone passes and stuff like that. So going back to death is what's on the other side, as we visit this planet. So you're born here, your family is chosen. So like I said earlier, what is a journey that you're born as a baby, you have to relearn everything, and then you become a teenager again, you grow up, teenager, and the teenager is where you usually rebel and your hormones run wild, and then to become a version of who you are is you can either be a follower, you can lead, whatever you choose to be in this lifetime, but don't become comfortably numb, assuming everything is laid out on a platter, because it's not. It is your job to get up and do something with who you are and do your lessons. You don't look outside of yourself to numb yourself. To heal oneself is a precious gift. Sometimes, yes, we're angry. Sometimes we hurt. Sometimes everything falls apart. Then we have to rebuild. But it's that rebuilding stage, how strong and determined you are to become a better version of yourself if you saw the lessons. If you realize that you weren't at the best at that time by treating a person not the way you want to be treated, change that part of you. Learn. When we die and go back to our family cluster group, to our soul essence, is a soul is a beautiful vibration of energy, of frequency, and because I do mediumship, so I see dead people or spirits, whatever you want to call them, Caspers, whatever you would like to call them. But to me, it's this natural because it's dimensional. I see other dimensions. I walk through other dimensions. I draw dimensional work. I see light language. I see life on other galaxies or whatever you would like to, whatever, which I used to not talk about much because I was laughed at. I was condemned. I was crazy in some people's eye. I was a conspiracy theorist. But no, they didn't want to. I wasn't, you're not supposed to tell your truth. But that is my truth. So, if I see someone's soul leaving when they die and they lift up and they go towards to the light, I was blessed to see that. If people come through and give me messages for other people, it's a healing that brings to the other person. So yes, death is a very important part of our life, is because it's just the transformation of you going to the other side. Your energy, part of your energy is still down here with all the other people. So it is a beautiful thing. And if you, it's like when I remote view or go in there, however, or channel into it, however you would like to call it, is yes, the people come in first as when they were old and then they leave again. So it is a quite interesting subject and a very big subject, but they come with love and energy to share things with you so someone can heal from that. And healing is our biggest gift on this earth plane. And it's very, 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 sometimes it takes years and sometimes it doesn't. But, they're always in your heart and they're always with you and you can talk to them anytime. They're just in a different dimension, which is quite beautiful, calm. It's not where you can touch everything. It's not. Or eat is here. We have the pleasure of eating and feeling the food. So we should enjoy that. And that's how I view death. It's just another transition, and that you're always alive, just in another dimension, and that your soul's alive. This is just the body that you were given to see your journey through different eyes. Like, and yes, there's many people that come back and they even remember their past lives, and it has been proven. So, and trying to prove things like that is very hard. Yet we all have that gift to do this, and yet we shut off from it. That's what I'm saying. So anyway, let's have a look on. I'm doing some health readings here. So what is going on in the moment? So elimination. So it's, see how beautiful this card is, a healing card. So eliminate things that don't serve you in a moment. Get rid of all the illusions. And then the animal kingdom, do not charge cows for farting. That's the stupidity of it is beyond. The void, fill in your void. So see how different cards work in different ways. If I use oracle decks, say I do a shadow reading on, so they're the dark mirror cards, right? What lesson is the last couple months left here, November, December on Earth? What are we to see? Who are we? Is this who we're looking at? Who are we? What do we need to see within ourselves? Interesting. And then we have, so that's a queen. She's dressed in red. The queen of my world. What is your world? How do you want to see your world? So these are shadow cards, okay? Just remember that, mirror cards. And the artificial heart. And that's what AI brings, an artificial heart. Do we want to go there? I was watching a show the other day on Japan. Did you know that everything you use over there is on your phone? Can you imagine, like this is how my brain thinks. Imagine in this world, everything is on AI, identification crap and all that kind of shit, right? And everything is on your phone. Imagine if the electricity fails, you can't open the till, you can't open this, you can't open your phone, you can't open app, wherever you go to use your phone, nothing will work. Can you see it is a big machine, AI, controlling through all these towers that are around? That's a frequency, right? Because they are held a frequency. How, if that doesn't work one day, how much chaos that would bring into this planet. Just putting it out there. That's how my mind thinks. So I don't feel it's very my cup of tea, a certain way, if you know what I mean. Yeah, quite interesting. Back to frequencies. So in a moment, this is my version of a frequency. So in a moment, I did a beautiful drawing on the matrix. So let's talk about the matrix quickly, and then I'm going to sign off because I'm going to jump on Facebook, do live readings. So this is the matrix. Change colors. How does a matrix work? So a matrix is frequency, energy. It's like the radio towers talking to each other, telephone talking to each other. Say you get a phone, it goes 24/7 and all these messages are always getting cluttered into your phone, emails, like big companies have all your information, send you all the shopping you should do. That's all AI technology, spying technology, whatever you want to call it. And they are spying. So basically in the matrix is like radio waves, so they go that in a moment is we're getting hit, because I believe that there was a frequency going out to numb us down, basically to numb a lot of things down. It's like a radio wave. And if you don't believe me, you can Google what they did in the wars, in the Second World War as well, because you started using it a lot in the war. So the frequency is controlled. It's the same when they, since the 60s, 56 or 60s, they started spraying in the sky more, trying to control weather, because their belief is that they can control the weather, they can control the world. But what all these people don't realize is nothing is ever controlled. You can't control. It's things that you're trying to control always collapse. It's just the way the universe works. So, but with the frequency is, so a new wave came in more to dim out the old waves, so all the changes can come into the new, like what they call the new earth. I just call it a transition out of the old energy into the new energy, basically. And whoever wants to go along with the ride and is open to it will do that. And who doesn't still has a journey to do. So there's no wrong or right in it, or however you want to call it. There's no, to me, is this, some of us are numbed down more than others. But whatever your journey is your journey, basically. Is, so I don't want to interfere with that. But to me, is your inner growth is what's important. How we move forward as a human race, not to allow all these evil things to happen all the time on this planet, to bring more love and kindness and respect to each other, and that the old system definitely doesn't work anymore. You can't have this amount of people here holding all the wealth up there, and these people struggling, and these people are starving, and then controlling the weather on top of that, buying all the farms up, trying to starve humanity, and all the horrible things they want to do, basically. So with the frequency, like in the matrix, is, so in the matrix there's energies, and some of the colors have changed to more. And this is a looking glass. This is where a lot of, if you're very psychic, you can tune into the looking glass and see into the future. I see into the past, the karmic patterns, what's karmic on earth, what do we need to shift, and that kind of stuff. Then here there's numbers and light language. They're all frequency, aligning with the frequency of the new, because it's a love frequency as well, and being more into the space of being kind, loving, is really important. Humanity has a key to it. So in the moment, we're getting bombarded by two frequencies, and they're clashing. So we have the beautiful frequency to change us back to the soul essence of what we came for, and understanding the harmony of light, of everything. And then we have the frequency of what the artificial intelligence created in humanity, the evil kind of mung beings, right? And it's clashes sometimes, so you get scattered energy coming out of both, and it's trying to balance itself, as music does, you see, as frequency does. So it takes a wave, it's like a wavelength, basically. And then we have all these towers up that talking to your phone, to your internet, to the radio, like radio waves and television waves, and all that is like a matrix. It's like a spider web above us all, which is unseen by the eyes. But when you tune in to the higher matrix of it all, there's people, you learn to jump into the matrix like a dimension. It's like a dimension of webs, and you see what does what in it. So that's what I'm sort of talking about being the universe, the matrix, basically. It's quite interesting. It's all about frequency, energy, colors, numbers, because everything's run like that with numbers. Talking is like, it's also a frequency. So that's how we're we communicate with frequency. Everything is a frequency. If you ever hear an angry person, their frequency is on a different plane. Hysteria is on 440 megahertz. So, and numbers have actually very beautiful healing codes if you really understand numbers as well. So I'm very good at math, so I really love math and numbers. So, but if you look at some of the numbers, what they are, like you can use numbers for your advantage, like allergy relief is 98978779978. Love of the highest level. Now, this is a really important one. It's 3346584667. If you write these numbers down, they can work for you as well, which I find quite amazing. So as you see, there's everything like self-love and respect is 48464452 And when you get used to that, numbers are so important as frequency. I work on my frequency. I raise it all the time. And when I feel very unenergetic, I raise my vibrations because I do things. Sometimes I get tired as well. And sometimes when they're clouding a lot, the energy is very suppressing. So you have to clear that out of your system. I run air purifiers and put oils on. And it's just anything that makes you feel good. It's your journey. It's your job to feel good about who you are. Your happiness comes from within. Love comes from within. The truth just is. It is there for you to discover. Truth just is. So I'll end it at this. I hope that all makes sense. Love and blessings to you all. If you have a chance, subscribe, like and share. Be much appreciated. But love from my heart to yours. Be the best version of yourself. And don't take life too serious. You're only here for a short time. Bye-bye.